Imagine sitting in a room with the president of Nigeria, looking him in the eye and telling him the country is bleeding. Now, imagine his reply is just 3 words. It is not. That actually happened, and by the time you finish this video, you will also understand why one of Peter Obi's own former allies just called him classless. Let's start with Cardinal Onaiyekan. He sat down with President Tinubu alongside other Catholic bishops, and he described the meeting as professional but frosty.
You asked me, how did I see the face of
the president in reaction?
I was not surprised that he was not looking very happy. Not even his colleagues who were there. We knew that this is different from the kind of statements that our president keeps receiving from all kinds of people. And that is one of the things that worries us, that there are so many people hanging around Mr. President, giving him a rosy picture of what the country is, which it is not. And we felt that we have no duty to do that. Indeed, we have the obligation to help him to appreciate the reality of the situation in which we find ourselves. And that is the reality that we painted, which I know is not the kind of thing that he wanted to hear. And the reply shows, and you can see his reply. We left that hall, both sides, knowing that, we said what we had to say. He said what he had to say.
So was it a frosty meeting then? Would you describe it as fairly frosty? Because, I mean, many Nigerians have become accustomed to polite meetings between religious leaders and political leaders.
When the nation is bleeding, you can't expect a polite meeting with the head of state. We need to let him know. And his reply is that the nation is not bleeding. We told him our economy is not helping our poor people. He told us the economy is doing fine. Practically speaking, he told us quite clearly that he did not agree with us. Again, I said, we're not surprised. We didn't expect him to agree with us. We have done our duty. We have delivered our message. And we have a feeling that somehow, along the line, somebody will show him a few of the things we said.
So think about what just happened there. The bishops walked in and told the president plainly, the nation is bleeding, the economy is not helping poor people. And according to the cardinal, Tinubu's response was simple. He said the nation is not bleeding. He said the economy is doing fine. We have 2 rooms, 2 completely different Nigerians, one from the men who spend their days with everyday people, one from the presidency. And here's the part that stood out to me. Sincerely speaking, the cardinal said he wasn't even surprised by that answer because they didn't go there expecting President Tinubu to agree with them. They went there to make sure he had it, agree or not. But this meeting wasn't just about the economy. Listen to this next part carefully.
The position of Mr. President came very clearly in that statement that he made. In politics, all is fair. Is that true? If that is what politics is, that in politics, everything can be done, provided you win election.
Well, clearly that's not correct.
That is not
correct. If that is what was said, then it is certainly not correct.
That is not.
There is propriety in everything. And
that is what we are worried about. We are worried about the fact that we see clearly that our government is bent on winning by all means. And unfortunately, they have a lot of means at their disposal to win. And they are deploying all those means in a way that eventually, even if we had a free and fair election, the votes of the people may not count. But we gave 2 warnings.
Right.
We gave 2 warnings. The one you mentioned. I'm trying to remember now. But the second one is that if we do not rearrange our election system to make sure that elections are really free, fair, and credible, it can lead to difficulties.
Right. I mean, you talked about the dominance of a one-party state.
Okay, yes.
And then
we want that the country doesn't gain anything by a one-party state in a so-called democracy. There's nothing. Of course, we are not expecting Mr. President to help the opposition to defeat him. No. But the point we are raising is that even though the president has all the powers of incumbency, he is in the election. He is a candidate like any other. He is a candidate like any other. And that is why we call our electoral commission independent. Now, there are doubts in some quarters about how independent this electoral commission
is. But he talked about the electoral commission.
He said so.
He said it was independent.
He says so. But like we also said, words are not enough.
In quotes, we're all worried about the fact that we see clearly that our government is bent on winning by any means. Sincerely, that's heavy. Because at this point, that's not a politician talking. That is the Cardinal saying it loud, and according to reports, the bishop specifically raised concerns about Nigerians sliding toward a one-party state, and they question how independent INEC can really be when the president is the one appointing the commissioners himself. Now, before anyone says, well, the church is taking sides, the Cardinal was clear about this. He said the bishops have no interest in political office. He even rejected being labeled a liberation theologian. So his words were simple. This is a moral duty to tell the truth about the country, not just a political move. And Nigerians online have strong feelings on both sides. One person wrote, when the people are struggling and the president says the economy is fine, that disconnect says everything. But another person made a different point, not attacking the president. He was just asking a genuine question. President Tinubu may not fully know the true situation because those around him could be shielding him from many realities. That is what's taken about, because we need to look at this from another angle. He rarely does open press conferences. It's not really active online the way some other world leaders are, answering questions directly from the public. So which is it? A president who genuinely disagrees with the bishops, or a president who simply isn't being told full truth by the people around him? Two very different problems, and they don't have the same solution. So tell me honestly, do you believe the bishops spoke the plain truth here, or do you think, like some people online are saying, this whole thing was scripted for effect? Drop your take below. Now let's move to something happening much closer to home. Inside Obi's own camp, Kenneth Okonkwo, one of the loudest voices who used to stand with Peter Obi, just came out swinging against him.
So that is.
You know, I'm really sorry to say this, but Peter Obi is a classless, uncharismatic politician with little knowledge and zero depth.
Okay.
Look at just the lie that he just told. First of all, what he said is legally illogical. Defamation suit is a suit you bring against somebody for what he has already said, which you are alleging injured your reputation. But look at him saying he wants to sue Kenneth Okonkwo for what Kenneth Okonkwo said he intends to say. Lie.
No, that's not how I understand it.
No, that is what I'm saying. He has already commenced the suing before I said what I said. And when you're dealing with a Peter Obi, it's good to put everything you are saying in writing. What I said is on my X handle. And this is what I said. I said it is unwise for you to sue your spokesperson.
Indeed.
Because in the defense of himself, he may divulge some confidential information. I did not say anything whether it would destroy him or not. That is one. And I said it in response because he has started suing. Defamation suit commences with pre-action notice. Pre-action notice is telling you, you have defamed me. Give me all this. The 5 billion did not commence from the court. It commenced from his pre-action notice. Then the court you're going is just to use it to get those things you have already asked for, which the person said, no, you're not qualified for it. So just look at a man who wants to be president lying, both legally and factually. So what I said is there in the Instagram.
Mr. Okonkwo.
Make I no lie, that will not be small talk, because that is a man who used to defend Peter Obi everywhere. Now saying this publicly, and this all started after Obi filed a defamation suit against him. Okonkwo called the suit legally illogical, saying defamation is supposed to be about something someone already said, not something they merely intend to say in the future. And it didn't end there. He said the real reason behind the lawsuit is an attempt to destroy any rising star from the southeast. He also accused Obi of lying both legally and factually about the case, and he said he actually agrees with the aviation minister's description of Peter Obi as a compulsive liar. So notice what is happening here. It is no longer just APC figures like Kenyamon or Shiomole attacking Obi. Now it is someone from his own former political family. Same question for you. Do you think Kenneth Okonkwo has a genuine point, or is this just anger after the lawsuits? Let me know in the comments. So that's the reality today. Bishops looking the president in the eye, telling him the nation is bleeding. Why Kenneth Okonkwo, the man who once led the charge for Obi, now uses words like classless to describe him? This shift in loyalty is exactly what we saw starting to brew with that Kenyamo and Oshiomhole attack earlier this week. If you want to see how these two stories actually connect and what it means for 2027, you need to watch this breakdown next. It shows the other side of this political shift. Drop your take below. Is this a betrayal or just politics? I will see you over in that next video.